Good morning, Copers. Yeah, that is a GNR song, but Alice Cooper did like guest vocals on the chorus part. Not really the best GNR song, but there's something about it. I don't know. There's something about it. You know, it's mid, but it's good. It's mid, but it's catchy. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to just drop the old guard in one time. Get it out of my system one time. How are you guys doing this morning? It is Thursday, January 8th. And we're going to talk about the ICE shooting that happened yesterday. Everybody's talking about it. And we're also going to take a look at, as I promised, the Jake Lang march on APAC that happened earlier in the week. Also, I have a guest booked for the progress report on Wednesday, and it's a good one. You guys are going to like it. I don't know who the other guest is going to be yet. I'm not going to say who's booked, but we are getting back into the swing. We're working hard in 2026, okay? 2026 is going to be the year I buy a house, perhaps. So I'm going to be working hard doing the progress report and all that. Get hyped. You're gonna like the guest, but I'm gonna keep it under my sleeve for now. Or what's the expression? I'll tell you later. Let's just get into it. I guess let's just get into it. This was like a viral video I wanted to check out. Billionaire Grant Cardone threatens to kill man at live event on camera. Because I guess this is the guy's daughter. So Grant Cardone, who is this guy? Equity fund manager. I guess his daughter was like giving a speech at some rally type of thing. And some guy yells out, "I'll marry you." And then he threatens to kill him. Let's watch.
My dad always says, "You can marry me." That's a little inappropriate.
Okay, let me just be clear. My daughter is 15. Okay, you do not love her. Okay, that's some bullshit. Don't even wait for her to grow up, by the way. If I can move on. Okay, I will fucking kill you, and I'll spend the rest of my life in prison knowing I did the right fucking thing.
My dad always...
Yeah, whatever. It's fun. It's funny, I guess. It's just theatrics, you know? And it worked. But I do love your daughter. Hey, dude, I can make so many jokes, so many distasteful jokes right now. If you didn't want me to love your daughter, maybe you should have not given her such a short skirt. I don't know. I'm joking. I can't do it. I'm joking, you guys. I'm joking. But there is something about her, okay? There is. I'm sorry. But she has that factor. She has that X factor, Grant. She has that Lolita factor. All right, I'm done. I'm kidding, you guys. I'm kidding. Ew. Moving on. What is this? For just $5 a month, you can help this starving Jewish family reach their minimum necessary annual income of $120,000. I was just being funny, guys. It's just jokes. What is this guy's name? Matt Christensen. Matt Christensen not doing so good. And blonde celebrating. Watching folks who refuse to address the JQ lose their platform has to be the least surprising yet most satisfying development. Did he actually lose his platform, or did people just stop watching him because he's kind of dry and boring?
Well, it's resolution season, and my resolution, in addition to getting over the cold that's compromising my voice, is for my business, this video and podcast material, to survive. At least as a full-time production, which is the main point of this message, but rather than burying that in all the how and the why, I'll emphasize that point up front. If my production is going to continue, I need your help in supporting it. Over the last year, revenue around here has tightened up significantly. As we'll get to, I understand why. if I want to continue as a
Lost his audience. Yeah, it's funny, man. Man, I actually like Matt Christensen. You know, I've never had anything against the guy, and his takes have always been pretty reasonable. And I know that he's found Christ in the past year, and he's like going to church and stuff like that, and I like that. That's a big W for him and for everybody who follows him to have that kind of role model or whatever. But he fucked up, obviously, because if you paid attention to what happened with him and Blonde, it was like he was mad that he was doing too much work. I get basically. He wanted Blonde to take a pay cut because he was like doing all the work, right? Which is like, it's understandable to feel that way if you that's normal. It's part of the problem with these podcasts that have multiple people, because there's always going to be a kind of imbalance in who's doing the most work. Like, I look at the backlash, and you already know Dave Riley's doing the most work out of everybody on that show, right? And over time, you start to feel kind of like, hey, man, I'm doing all the work, you know? But, you know, Matt's learning now that, like, he wanted more money and he lost money. He lost money because Blonde left. And it turns out a lot of people wanted to see the hot, funny, based blonde chick cracking jokes. You know what I mean? It turns out a lot of the money that was coming in was because of the co-host. Loyal to other bald men. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy and everything.
Sir Thomas Drake sent $5.
I don't know him.
GM Copers.
Thank you for the $5, Sir Thomas Drake. He's never followed me on Twitter, but I don't take that personally. I don't know. He seems like a fine guy, but clearly he made a business mistake. I think also, you know, you get the tenant money. I think there's a lesson in there too, which is that if you get like your big break in life, don't let it go to your head right away. Let it sit with it for a while. Make sure it's real, because like in this case, it's like, okay, you get this sudden huge influx of money, then you get rug pulled, and guess what? Turns out nobody's actually knocking down your door to pay you a bunch of money for mid content. Turns out that was all kind of fake or whatever.
viable business, I'll have to turn that around. But I'm not here to beg. I'm not here to plead in alfalfa-like desperation.
How do you plead? Like this? Please, oh, please have mercy, please. Pretty good pleading.
I don't even have the hair left to spike anyway, but I'm here to provide value. So that's what I'm going to do. Today, I'm launching what I call the MC Club, a set of exclusive perks available to those who support my material monthly. I'm suggesting $5 a month to help pay the...
He's focused on the financial. I mean, somebody kind of has to do that, though. That's the thing. That's just not the fun part of the job.
Bills, but these perks are available to anybody supporting monthly, including just $1 a month. Through the MC Club page on my website, you will get all of my videos and podcasts ad-free. There's a members-only Discord server with direct access subscription. Once you do, you'll receive an email at $5 a month. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve. 2,000 people at $5 a month means this operation is totally secure from all the other variables: censorship, algorithmic manipulation, advertiser revolt.
2,000 people at $5 a month. I wish. How much money? I mean, whatever. Cool. That's a lot, though. So my locals is $5 a month on the low end, and I have currently 117. And then I think on the YouTube members, though, is doing pretty good, because there's like...
Number 1 kick mod. Cat Respector sent $5.
Thank you, Cat Respector. You are a kick mod. I just had to ban... I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't know you were here, but I just had to ban somebody, so... Don't make me hire a new kick mod. I'll fire you. I'll get a new one. I'll get a new unpaid employee. Do I like locals better than... I definitely would recommend joining my locals because I don't even post the content to Subscribe Star. I can't be bothered. But I have like, so I just got my YouTube monetized. I have like 110 members on there or something at $5 a month. They're literally all at $5 a month. Nobody joins the higher tiers on YouTube, but that's been really good. YouTube is so much better than anything else because it advertises your videos to people, gives them a reason to join. Anyways, he wants 10K a month in recurring donations. I get like get like 1,700 currently, which is a far cry from 10K. How many views is this guy getting on his videos? 9K. It's not terrible, but I mean they were doing like what 25K to 40K for Beauty and the Beta. Yeah, that's rough.
It's the 30% that YouTube takes on transactions over there. Whatever.
I don't want to watch the rest of this. Long story short, probably wasn't the good idea to scare off the person who was bringing in more than half the views. Or not run her off, whatever. Okay, let's get into our main story here. They're calling her George Foid. Homeland Security. Today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. The ICE officers who were hurt are expected to make full recoveries. This is the direct consequence of constant attacks and demonization of our officers by sanctuary politicians who fuel and encourage rampant assaults on our law enforcement, who are facing 1,300% increase in assaults against them and an 8,000% increase in death threats. This is an evolving situation. We will give the public more. Yeah, it is. It is. And at some point, you have to start doing something. I don't know what the crime is. What's static terrorism, insurrection, domestic terrorism. Here's the thing, okay? The left wanted to call J6 an insurrection. The main thing that made J6 illegal is like the crime that most people got charged with other than trespassing was like trying to like disrupt government functions. You can't do that. Your right to protest does not extend into you have the right to disrupt the government. That's not protesting. That's, call it what you want. Terrorism, call it just obstruction. You know, obstruction is a crime on the books for a reason, obstructing an officer. So you can't do that. But these people have gotten so comfortable and self-righteous. They think they can just do whatever they want. They think they're above the law. This whole story to me, honestly, is kind of a nothing burger. Like, it was inevitable that something like this was going to happen. It was absolutely inevitable. You already had a story where 11 like Antifa people shot a nice guy in the neck. And you had another story where that guy went and shot at the ICE facility. He ended up shooting like 2 Mexicans and then killing himself. Which, by the way, that's like the real satire. I was looking at that movie, One Battle After Another, and like how it's supposed to be like far left satire. Real life is way funnier than anything they did in that movie. Fat retard shows up, shoots 2 Mexicans, and then blows his own brains out. Like, I understand suicide isn't funny, but if it was a movie, like it could be. You get what I'm saying? So these, the threat, the point I'm making here is that the threat against these guys is not like some fake inflated thing. It's real. These officers are under threat of violence. They're being constantly harassed. And it was just inevitable that sooner or later, one of these idiots was going to die. So to me, it's almost like a total nothing burger, but kind of a slow news day. So we're all talking about this probably more than we really should be. Now, I haven't actually watched the videos except for like the 4-second slow motion video that I saw this morning, which, spoiler alert, totally justified shooting just from that video. She drives the SUV right at the guy who is like directly in front of her. So I don't know what people are saying with she wasn't trying to hit. He was definitely in imminent danger of like real bodily harm. And you can't do that to the cops. I don't know who needs to hear this, but that's a way to get shot. All right. Video shows the moment a woman tries to run over ICE agents with her vehicle. Tim Wall's calling ICE the Gestapo is exactly why this happens. I haven't watched this video yet. Let's see.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood.
So this vehicle is blocking, right? This is what they're like. This is what I'm talking about. They are trying to obstruct the government. This isn't a protest. She's illegally blocking the vehicle with her SUV, her whatever this is, her little minivan, her little lesbian minivan. She's a lesbian, spoiler alert. Right, so from this angle, it looks like she backs up and is driving away, is trying to get out of there. And so this is why people are saying, oh, she was just trying to leave. But when you see it from the other angle, you're going to see he was right in front of it. We'll get to that. But also, you can't just ignore lawful. This is what I mean by these people think they're above the law. They're literally living in this like delusional... they watch these movies like One Battle After, and they think they're like the rebel uprising, and they think life is a movie, and everything is kind of fake. So she did not think she was gonna die. You know what I mean? In her mind, that was like a 0% chance of happening, but. That just shows how detached you are from reality, that you think you're going to go toe to toe with the cops, basically, with armed federal agents, and you're going to like fight them, and that there's no risk that you're going to get hurt. Just shows how detached you are.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
What the fuck? The voice cracking soy on the sidelines. The fuck are these people? Go get a job. Go do something. What's so crazy is my thought whenever I see something like this is that like this is the result of people not having kids. It's like you should go, if you're a woman, you should be at home with your kids. If you're a man, you should be out at work earning for your family. But she had kids, which just makes it even crazier. That makes it even crazier to me. You have kids, you have responsibilities, you have people who depend on you for life, and this is what you're doing?
Dude, you did a murder for what?
You did a murder! Dude, you did a heckin' murderino. I can't believe this is real. Dude, we live in a simulation. You did a heckin' murderino, my guy. Oh my God. Okay, so that's a video. Dude, you did a murder for what? Better angle here. So this, well, hold on. There's like a freeze frame here where you can kind of see the officer right in front. It's really blurry. The video I saw, what we'll get to, is better, but let's check this one out. Oh yeah. You can see her clip the officer. He's right here. She hits him. She hits him with her car. This is not a game, people. Like, come on. What do you think is going to happen? You just hit federal armed agents with your vehicle when they're telling you to stop, when they're giving you lawful commands. My favorite is I see people being like, oh, well, ICE officers don't have the right to like detain or command citizens. And it's like, what are you talking about? They're like cops. Of course you should comply with their orders. What do you mean? You just ignore them? What a waste. What a waste of your life. Destiny says, this is the type of stuff that people like Asmongold are cheering on. This is a different angle again. Or is this the same one we watched? No, this is the same one we watched. Yeah. You did a heckin' murder. Okay, so then Asmongold says, rip bozo. They told her to get out of the car and she put it in reverse and tried to run over an officer and drive away. Comply with police and don't try to run them over. This angle shows it better. And Elon Musk says, yeah, if an officer of law says stop, you stop. Attempting to murder them with a car obviously requires self-defense. Yeah, I don't know why this is so complicated. This is the one we watched.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What?
By the way, I support all people, like all felons, like who are trying to flee. Like you should be able to kill them. That was the law up until like, I don't know, like 40 years ago. Like even like if you were a citizen, like if somebody was like running from the law, it was legal to just kill them. And then I think in like the 80s they made it illegal to do that unless there was like imminent threat. But I think it should be. I don't think that was a good change to the law. Why would you legalize escaping justice? You know, and the thing about this Destiny tweet is like, so this is like, I think we probably are mostly on the same page here that this is justified. At worst, maybe it's a gray area, right? But it's not like this egregious, like psychopathic murder, you know, like you see in the Nazi movies, the Hollywood movies, where they like get the Jews to kneel down on the street and then they like cap them in the back of the right. Destiny's trying to like make it out like that. Here's the thing, even if it was that, even if it was a totally rogue, insane, psychopathic ICE guy, that wouldn't mean that Asmongold supports that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see how dishonest it is, right? It's like saying it's like if you say Destiny supports killing Charlie Kirk because the guy's on the left.
Neanderthal sent $10. Hopefully this has a chilling effect on these wannabe freedom fighters. It's all fun and games until people start getting shot.
Yeah, I do hope so. You know, that's the big question. Is this going to turn into riots? Is this going to I don't think it will. I don't think people are going to come out and riot over a dead lesbian the same way they would over a dead fentanyl addict. You know, she's the wrong race. If she was black, maybe you'd have something. But I don't think people are going to come out and riot and get shot over a dead white woman. Sorry. Wrong race, lady. Wrong race to get martyrized. But anyway, you get my point. It's such a dishonest weasel thing to be like, oh, you support the right, and then here's this guy on the right who did something bad. He did it, but if he had, you get what I'm saying. It's just dishonest weasel shit from Destiny. Of course. All right, here's the slow motion video I was talking about. This one makes it really clear. Now, what's interesting is, okay, so the wheel, okay, here's what people are saying too, and this is important. Note her wheels are turned to the left when she accelerates forward. The cop is behind this other cop. He's right in front of the vehicle. Her car moves to the right of the cop because it's very icy. And that's important. Because if it wasn't icy, the way her wheels were pointing, she would have gone even more towards the cop and ran him over. And also, because it's so icy, you can't expect the cop to just like, you know, oh, I'm going to jump out of the way. Because you could slip and fall and get run over and die. It's very dangerous. The fact that it's so icy makes the whole thing just that much more dangerous. So when the cops say, hey, stop, get out of the car, you're supposed to go like, okay, I decided I was going to be the fucking, I decided I was going to have my Tiananmen Square moment where I parked my vehicle in front of the fucking ice tank. And now it's time to deal with the legal consequences of that. But instead she's like, oh no, I'm just going to drive away like I'm fucking Bonnie and Clyde. Because I'm the hero of the movie. What are they going to do? Chase me down? What are they going to do? Shoot me? Right, so you see here, accelerating, wheels still kind of pointed to the left, but the car drifting the other way. Right at him. Right at him. And you see how they're almost like falling down on the ice. So, of course, you can watch a video and see what you want to see.
I watched the video, y'all. I watched the fucking video. The news is gonna say she tried to ram them. She most certainly did not. They ran at her car, holding on to their guns, and then they shot her when she tried to drive away. She wasn't trying to ram anyone. She was trying to get away from a dangerous situation, and now she's fucking dead.
Who created the dangerous situation? The stupid bitch parked her car across the road to intentionally block federal agents from doing their job. Why? To save some Somali criminals who would like literally rape her if they thought they could get away with it. They would rob her and rape her and murder her if they got half the chance. That's who she's trying to protect. That's who she died for. What are you doing with your lives, people?
If you are okay with the fact that they're gunning people down in the streets, in the suburbs of Minneapolis, then you're not a freedom fighter. You're a fucking Nazi. Leave my country. Leave my state. Watch the...
You're not a freedom fighter. You did a heckin' murderino. Asmongold has no chill on this whole situation.
I can't with these people trying to call this a murder and all that shit. Well, hey, maybe they shouldn't be in front of the car. The thing is that you're never going to convince these people that it's not, okay? Like, it doesn't matter. The only thing you have to do is crush them. You crush...
By the way, it was like a week and a half ago, everybody on the right was saying that Clav was right to run that guy over, right? But it's a totally different situation. If it's a cop telling you to stop and get out, you don't run them over. It's a totally different situation. Like, this is actual consistency is the point I'm trying to make from the right. The guy who jumped on Clav's car deserved to die. This woman tried to run over a federal officer who was trying to like arrest her for the obstruction she was engaged in.
Them completely. You never go like after you say basically after you run one of them over, right? Or you shoot one of them for trying to run you over, then you victory lap around it and you send in more people and you do it even more. That's the only solution. That you're never going to win these people over. You're never going to explain it to them. You're never going to be like, "Oh, well, why won't you see my point of view?" Because they don't want to. Why not just shoot the tires? So that way you make the car unsafe and some other innocent bystander can get...
What a fucking idiotic. Why didn't he shoot the... First of all, he was like, yeah, I mean, that's just... Dude. Why didn't the cop shoot him in the leg? Good grief.
Hurt indiscriminately because the person didn't follow the law? Nah, bro, you shoot him right in the fucking face. They said to stop the car. They said not to do...
Let's go, Roach King W.
This, they said to get out, and she's walking around driving around. What are you talking about? Absolutely not. You shoot him right in the fucking head. That's it. Aim for the legs. Yeah, bro. Aim for the legs. Oh my God. Some of these people not thinking about this at all, bro.
Why didn't the cop shoot the gun out of his hand?
And they shot him. I'd say rip bozo. The fact is, this is just...
Why didn't the cop shoot the rear view mirror in such a way that the bullet would ricochet down and hit the brake pedal, causing the car to stop moving forward?
What happens? They told her to get out of the car. Did she get out of the car? No, she didn't. She did something that, I mean, I looked at it, it seemed like to me that, yeah, it's somebody trying to run over a police officer, number one. And number two, she disobeyed a direct order. And who knows what somebody like that is going to do. And this is a big issue that a lot of people don't understand, is that they don't understand the butterfly effect of allowing a person who is a criminal like that to just escape away in a speeding vehicle after immediately trying to run over a police officer. You don't know if that person is going to run somebody else over, if they're going to lose control of the car, if they're going to go and do this somewhere else, etc., right?
And somebody mentioned this in the chat. I haven't watched this video yet, but I guess he got into it with Hassan through text. I don't know. Let's watch what's going on here.
Done if you were in her situation and you were the one driving the car.
I would have driven away.
I'm not talking as the
as
officer.
well, just as she was trying to do. Many people.
Oh, Hassan is typing in Asmon Gold's chat.
Would have done the same. She was clearly...
I wouldn't have. But I wouldn't have been in that idiotic situation in the first place. If I was, and the cop was like, get out of the car. Dude, I am the most respectful person to law enforcement. Yes, sir. How do you do, sir? Thank you. I don't add any extra trying to like charm them up and I don't add nothing. I just do what I'm told and I'm super polite and I don't talk basically. I just do what I'm told. It's called being white. These leftists have gotten so entitled that they're acting black. It's really that's it. That's all it comes down to. They're acting black.
I told you already the appropriate way of doing this by the LEO standards.
Drive away.
You have. You've told me multiple times, but you haven't said what you would do. Because you know the answer to that, and it's obvious. You would have gotten out of the car like a normal person, and you would have said, okay, I'm going to comply with the police.
The person
That's
who
what you would have
has
done. But you don't want
power
to answer
and
that because it paints her in a bad
responsibility
light.
to de-escalate is the LEO in this situation.
I would have driven away as well. Oh, he said, oh, you would have.
These guys think that it was cool to shoot Ashley Babbitt, though, in the face. Never forget. Never forget that they thought that was cool.
driven away as well, just as she was trying to do. Many people would have done the same. She was clearly trying to drive away. The person in power has the responsibility to de-escalate and do that. Listen, guys, anybody in the Assange chat, listen, I'm going to say this.
All right, let's hear it.
Please, guys, do not take this advice. This is such a bad idea.
Actually, you should argue with the cop, and then you should try to escape in a high-speed chase. That's fucking great advice. Great advice.
Promise you, Hassan's got a lot of money,
and if it's the cop's fault for making you, because the cop didn't try to de-escalate, you should endanger their lives in order to escape. Awesome advice.
He's got tons of money. He can afford this. It's okay.
I can afford being shot in the face. What the fuck are you talking about?
No. Again, we've seen this clip again, and there it is. Yes, obviously they hit him. Yeah, let's not even get into that. Please, guys, do not take his advice. If a law enforcement officer tells you to stop the
yeah, it's 5 pixels. Like, we can't see the guy fucking bouncing off the car.
Vehicle and to get out of the car. Do not randomly drive away. You will ruin your life. They're going to find you. They'll run your plates. They're going to arrest you. You're going to have to go to court. You're going to go to jail. Potentially. Maybe you won't. It will fuck up your whole life.
Comply or die is pretty straightforward. There's obviously some line of like insane psychopathic cop where you wouldn't want to comply, but I've never like seen that in real life. I've never seen a video ever in my life where I was like, oh, that person should not have complied with the police.
Do not do this. Sorry. Comply or die, always W. Okay, you're getting untimed out, all right? Have done.
$6 and $3. These are the same creatures who celebrated Charlie Kirk. Give me a break.
Thank you. Richard Spencer with the big brain take. He says, let's be honest about what happened today. I've seen multiple clips, and any reasonable person would conclude that Renee Nicole Good was fleeing ICE agents, not trying to run them over. It's kind of irrelevant, though, because if you're going to run them over while trying to, like, your motive doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Your intent doesn't really matter if you're putting people in danger. The use of deadly force was clearly unnecessary. Should you flee law enforcement? No. Then why are we arguing? Did she put herself in unnecessary danger? Yes.
Mr. Bing Bong sent $3. Yo, dad got her blown smooth off.
Yeah. Might the agent have felt that his life was threatened and thus justified under the law? We'll see. The point is that a policy of roving bands of poorly trained, heavily armed agents encouraged by DHS hype videos was going to end up this way sooner or later. Renee Nicole Good was reportedly a mother and widow. It's not even clear the degree to which she was aggressively protesting ICE. She and people like her are not the enemy. Conservatives and MAGA will no doubt back the blue and not call out what is obviously excessive force. Politically speaking, the narrative of Trump's Gestapo has been cemented. Obama deported 3 million people without theatrics. MAGA embraced the theatrics and must pay the price. Does he really believe that about Obama? That alone is kind of discrediting. Obama deported 3 times as many people as Trump, but there wasn't, no one talked about it. There's no way that number's real. Richard Spencer he's just like such a contrarian, you know? Such a Richard Hanania type. He has so much disdain for the low IQ right that he has to always disagree with everything. That woman was retarded, and it was Darwin in effect. Is it sad that children lost their mother? Sure. But it's just, at the end of the day, it's just Darwinism. She is a cautionary tale. That's all she is now. Her most biggest contribution to society is for people to be like, wow, let me not be an idiot like that woman. Let me learn from her idiocy and not repeat it. Anthony Fantano said fuck ICE over and over and over again. And then Howling Mutant said the extent of your activism, and he got blocked. The needle drop's not having your tongue, your smart tongue today. Howling Mutant.
Neanderthal sent $5. The Obama-era deportation figures included people turned away at the border. He didn't remove 3 million illegals already here. It's cooked bookkeeping.
Yeah, obviously. Even then, it's probably just an inflated fake number. Okay, to the point of we don't know what extent she was aggressively protesting ICE, her vehicle was parked across the road, blocking the road, and if there was some non-shitlib reason for that, then you would be a lot more likely to comply with the police instead of running away like a hysterical freaking N-word. And on top of that, her lesbian wife, was out here recording the protest. So yes, long story short, they were protesting. X doesn't want to play this video. Try Chrome.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood!
The fuck? You just...
This lady got blood. They don't, she was in the car with her, bro. Or she tried to save her or something. Somebody. Hey, was you riding with her?
That's my wife. So they have 3 children, and they're out here doing this, and where are the kids?
Did you call any of your people yet? So you don't got...
Again, we live in a simulation, man. Fat lesbians, a guy going, "You did a murder," and a black guy speaking in like super thick ebonics. Is you reach out to your peeps yet? This is America. This is America. Don't get you slipping up.
None of her family members or anybody number? Do you know anybody on her Facebook?
You know anybody on the gram? This is America. Witness to deadly ICE incident. She was the main car leading the protest. Okay, so there you go, Richard. She was the queen shitlib. Queen shitlib, what's in charge? The HSIC. She was very successful in blocking traffic. So it looked like she was impeding federal officers. Yeah, definitely that was her goal.
I woke up to some commotion. I heard some whistles going on out front, so I came downstairs to see what was going on. Wasn't even dressed. And there was a car, the Honda Pilot that's crashed over there now. There's a car blocking the 2 lanes of Portland traffic. And the ICE agents got out and they were saying, "Get out of here, get out of here." And she was what looked like trying to turn around. And the ICE agent was in front of her car, and he pulled out a gun and put it right in, like, his midriff was on her bumper, and he reached across the hood of the car and shot her in the face, like 3-4 times. And then she must have just stepped on the gas. She stepped on the gas immediately, maybe got like 100 feet or so, and ran into the telephone pole and some cars, and then was slumped over in her car. And you could see she was probably gone. And There was a medic. There was a neighbor who's a physician who was yelling, "Can I please check the pulse?" There was no first responders. There were 0 first responders. They left her in her car, slumped over for about 10-15 minutes, blocking us all. And eventually EMS got here, and they wouldn't let the bus in, so it was just the EMS workers, and they checked her out for a second, maybe five minutes or so, and then carried her out, no stretcher or anything, carried her out like a sack of fucking potatoes.
Can you describe a little bit about what this woman looked like? Was there anyone else in the car with her? Did you know if she was the target?
Already sent $5 on Rumble. 30 years of brainwashing has convinced white libs, if it's in service of the woke liberal church, they can do anything, including unaliving people, with no repercussions. They are coddled children.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're just insane levels of entitlement and delusion. They think they're heroes in a Star Wars Harry Potter movie. They're totally insane people. And I don't like it. I'm not happy she's dead. I'm not glad this happened, but I'm not losing any sleep over it. You're stupid. I've been out here the last 10 years trying to help people like you, trying to reach you, trying to help you come back to reality. You don't want to hear it. You want to tell me I'm the bad guy, you know? I don't have the video pulled up. Maybe I should have, but there's a video. I downloaded it for YCSP. This guy, they tested all of the AIs for like bias or like anti-egalitarianism, and all of the AIs except Grok to a lesser extent, they all hate white people, right? And that's trained off of the internet. Like, that's the reason the AIs do that, is because that's what the internet does. That's what Reddit does. So you've been telling me that I'm crazy and I just want to be a victim. It's like, no, you hate white people. And now you're insane. And if you're a white person like this, you hate yourself.
$6 on Rumble. The shooter ICE agent was previously dragged by a protester's car another time. The children are now freed from crazy lesbians. I'm sorry the agent didn't get the wife.
Well, I mean, I don't agree with that. But yes, I think I have that pulled up actually. And also the wife, who they got married like a year ago or something, so they haven't been married long. She has like a domestic abuse charge. This is alleged. Okay, this is Twitter gossip. Maybe it's not right, but what they're saying is she put cigarettes out on children. Bruh.
Wandering Neanderthal sent $5 to the point of not rendering aid. They can't do that unless the scene is secure, which they can't do with a mob of howling onlookers hurling insults and threats like the dysgenic golems they are.
Yeah, no, now you want the public servants to be able to get their vehicles through, huh? Now that it's the EMS coming to save the dead, now we want the traffic clear. Should have maybe thought about that before you decided to block traffic like you're fucking, again, the Tiananmen Square guy or something. And the thing about lesbians, man, I did Women Are Wonderful. I did like 25 episodes of that show, which is just looking at women doing insanely evil things. And when it comes to the lesbians and children, dude, bad mix.
I don't know if she was a target. They clearly wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her, but she was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do, and so they wanted to get her the hell out of there. Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
That was her goal.
Do you have a read on her demographic?
I think she was a white woman. Looked like, I didn't see her when she was alive, just slumped over in the car. It looked like she had dyed short curly hair. I have a video of her in the car. But yeah, no
Okay.
No other description.
She wasn't just a lesbian and a mother. She was also an award-winning poet. Now, I will warn you, I read this poem this morning and it increased my misogyny.
Krista Chase sent $5. I just want to hear Trump say they carried that rug muncher out like a sack of asterisk potatoes.
Oh, behave, you guys. Come on. That's a human being. Come on. Yeah. So if you're not trying to be more misogynistic today, maybe you might want to skip hearing her poetry. But this is an award-winning poem. It's called On Learning to Dissect Fetal Pigs. I want back my rocking chairs. Solipsist sunsets. Solipsist sunset. Let me stop you right there. I know you're already dead, but you should kill yourself. Solipsist sunsets. Good Lord. God, I hate poetry. I really hate poetry. Maybe some Shakespeare. There's probably some poetry that's okay, some Shakespeare, but in general, I can't even pretend. I'm sorry. I can't pretend. It's so pretentious. It's just like pure pretension, pure distilled pretension. Solipsist sunsets and coastal jungle sounds that are tersets from cicadas and pentameter from the hairy legs of cockroaches. I've donated Bibles to thrift stores, mashed them in plastic trash bags with an acidic Himalayan salt lamp. The post-baptism Bibles, the ones plucked from street corners, from the meaty hands of zealots, the dumbed down, easy to read, parasitic kind. Kind of elitist. So fat, stupid Bible thumpers, right? God, they're so pathetic. Imagine being so stupid. You need a like a help reading the Bible. God, what a retard. Kind of elitist is all I'm saying. You know, the Bible's kind of hard to understand, you know. Dumbed down Bibles for fat zealots. You know, the Bible's actually kind of hard to understand. I don't think there's any shame in needing some help.
Harrod Celtic sent $6 on Rumble. I'm a woman. I've dealt with them all my life. Women are generally crazy. Lesbians are completely crazy. Poetry prior to 1900 is okay, but after that it's garbage.
Thank you. Thank you, based. One of the based hypocrites. Hypocrites. What do we call the women around here? We're going to workshop that. Hypocriters and hypocrites. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. Copettes. Let's go with that. Thank you to the base Copette. Yeah, that's a lot better. That reminds me of this thing I saw, this horrifying tweet about how like 86% of medical students are women now. So like in the future, the whole medical industry is going to be female. Think about that, you guys. All your doctor's going to be a woman. Everyone in the whole operation is going to be a woman. Sweet. According to reports, the lesbian girlfriend of the mother of the year who tried to murder an ICE agent today was arrested for putting cigarettes out on the kids. Okay, so not just kids, but literally the dead woman's children, and charged with domestic abuse. Dude. Has there ever been a leftist martyr who wasn't like a total piece of shit? Because you would think, okay, maybe this isn't true. We don't know. This is gossip. This is what's the word? Anyway, we don't know. It's allegations. But let's say it is true for a moment. You would that would be like if somebody put cigarettes out. Let's say my wife died, right? And then I marry a new woman. And then that woman puts cigarettes out on my kids. Like, that would be a deal breaker. That would be the end of the relationship for me. But I'm also just not the kind of guy to leave my kids at home and go toe to toe with federal law enforcement so I can save a bunch of light bulb heads. Is that what we're calling the Somalis now? I've been seeing that one around, bulb heads. Lesbians on TikTok are seething and demanding the orphan kid not go to the grandparents, but rather to live with the unrelated stepmom that married Renee Good like a year and a half ago, right? So this is, again, potentially who also put cigarettes out on them.
So that woman that ICE murdered today was a lesbian. Renee Good was a lesbian. And the reason that this matters is because, number one, her wife was in the car with her when it happened. Number two, shortly after, her wife gave a distraught interview to a reporter in which she mentioned, we have a 6-year-old who's in school right now. Like, I have to go pick our 6-year-old up from school. After this, the child's grandfather gave an interview to the news. This would either have been Renee's father or the father of that child's biological father. It's unclear from the context clues. That child's grandfather gave an interview to the news in which he said, I'm going to have to fly to Minneapolis to pick up my grandchild who has nobody left. There's nobody left.
Yes.
That child's other mother is still there. God. She's still there. That child was in.
These people are so insufferable. It's always like it's just how can I virtue signal? How can I be a good ally?
In a stable, loving, married 2-parent home, and the second parent is still there. That child's grandfather is now clearly intent on trying to rip this child away from their remaining mother after they lost their other mother.
Yeah, my understanding is that the father died and she was a widow. That's what I've seen people say.
Today. This is why it matters that Renee Good was a lesbian. Because if she hadn't been, this situation would not be happening. This is the exact situation that I, by the way, have been talking about for the past 2 years, telling people if Donald Trump is elected, I am going to lose my rights. They say, what rights? What rights are you talking about? What rights have you lost? What rights are in danger of yours? The right not to have your child taken when your spouse is murdered by the government. Do not let this part of the story get swept under the rug, okay? That's what they want. Don't let it get swept under the rug. This is an additional atrocity happening after, again, the murder of a United States citizen by the United States government. And now...
It almost makes me hope the cigarette thing is true just because it will be funny.
Now they're going to try to take her child. Do not let this part of the story die. Talk about it. Be loud about it. It matters. It matters that Renee Good was a lesbian. It matters that her child's grandfather is now trying to take that child away from their home.
Just another red pill. Homophobic people need to die. There's no excuse to be bigoted towards homosexuals in 2026. 721 likes. Man, my Kurt Cobain video from like years ago or whatever that I re-uploaded, it really like kind of broke out into normie YouTube. And there's so many people who are just like, oh, so he sucked because he liked gay people. I just like reply to all the comments. I'm like, yeah, how is that confusing? This child already lost their father. The grandparents should be relieved. This child still has a bonus mom. She's not a bonus extraneous mom. She's his mom. God, the way it's always like, I have to be more politically correct than you. She's not a bonus mom. Did she put cigarettes out on him? Inquiring minds want to know. Mayor Frey of Minneapolis tells ICE, get the fuck out.
And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is
Jewish,
to
by
create
the
some
way.
kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done.
At some point, you gotta charge these people. There's got to be some, I don't know. It's complicated, state rights, federal rights. It's complicated. It's not really my area of expertise, but I'll just say this. Fuck this guy. Okay. Fuck this wimp. Fuck this guy. He cried at George's gold casket. Somebody asked if I'm going to review the Sam Hyde Feminist. Sam Hyde did his own Jubilee thing. I did watch it. It was kind of funny. It was funny, but I don't plan to review it. Max Blumenthal says, we, the American taxpayer, have been compelled to give $50,000 hiring bonus to guys with SS tattoos sent with guns and masks into cities they've never been to, where they flagrantly shoot citizens in the face. And this ties into what Richard Spencer was saying too. They're saying that these guys are poorly trained, but you don't know how much the guy who shot this woman, you don't know how much training he had. You don't know how long he's been on the job. I thought I had the thing about him being dragged. Maybe it's in my bookmarks. Right, so this is Elon Musk. The same ICE agent was almost killed by a car during an arrest 6 months ago.
ICE arrest in the Twin Cities is leading to even more charges.
This home security video shows a driver taking off during a traffic stop, dragging a deportation officer with him. New at 10, WCCO's Uba Ali walks us through this video and the political firestorm behind it.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. And it was all caught on camera. According to a federal complaint, agents were executing a warrant for 39-year-old Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023 for abusing a minor. Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the
she sent $5. I've got a poem. There once was asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In this note, pride protecting an illegal she didn't know blocked the cops with her van. Got shot by a man. Now she's just a big fat sack of potato.
Pottery. Better than any award-winning poem that woman ever wrote.
Officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards. These graphic images show the aftermath. A bloody agent who needed 33 stitches for his significant cuts. And now a political battle with a top Homeland Security official criticizing Governor Tim Walz.
See, this is the guy Richard Spencer is shitting on, calling him poorly trained. Well, in this house, that man's a hero. Are we trying to get rid of the shitskins or aren't we, Richard? What are we doing here?
Posting on X, instead of comparing ICE law enforcement to the Gestapo, Walz should be thanking our brave law enforcement. The Department of Justice says a request for Munoz to be held after that 2022 arrest was, quote, not honored by local authorities, and Munoz was released.
Not honored?
Denied.
Okay, so that is interesting. Oh yeah, also, I think I actually had this, I did have this one pulled up. Elon Musk also quote tweeted this with a 100%. If white men become a minority, we will be slaughtered. Remember, if non-whites openly hate white men while white men hold a collective majority, they will be 1,000 times more hostile and cruel when they are a majority over whites. White solidarity is the only way to survive. Elon Musk says 100. Based. But then I saw another tweet from him this morning where he was like calling the Nazis like evil authoritarians. Elon is so like, he's so close so often, and then he does something else where you're like, ah. Max Blumenthal says, we, the American taxpayer, have been compelled to give 50,000 hiring bonuses to guys with SS tattoos sent with guns and masks into cities they've never been to where they flagrantly shoot citizens in the face.
See this fucking shit.
Dude.
Where's that fucking tattoo? Let me see this fucking
now.
shit. Yeah, get the fuck in your truck and get the fuck out of this city, dog.
Dude.
I mean it, bro. Don't make me fucking get on the phone and start calling people, because I'll have half this fucking city come down here and take you the fuck apart.
Well, dude, I'm not even from nowhere around. We just come
Fuck
through.
off, Nazi. Get in your truck and leave. Your whole fucking crew Nazis?
No, man, we're not even from here.
Where the rest of them at?
Texas.
Yeah?
No, they're not.
Go back to fucking Texas.
Dude, I had this done years ago.
I know, and it's still on your fucking face,
Because
bro.
I ain't had no
I
time
seen
to
that
change
before. I seen your fucking eyes, dog. Get the fuck out of my city, or I will fucking end you.
Wow, big talk from that guy. I ain't had a chance to get rid of it. So this is embedded from this guy. He says, just in, ICE agents gets caught with off duty with a Nazi SS tattoo, January 5th, 26. Man, if it was me, I would have literally killed that guy. He's lucky I wasn't there. I bet you this is an old video.
Need for Speed sent $3 if Alex Rosen had a Spanish-only predator poachers division. He'd catch more illegals than 100 times the amount of boomers that got scammed by Indian phone scammers in the mid to late 2000s.
Maybe. I don't know. I think a lot of those guys are like molesting their own family members, but I haven't looked into it that much. Kind of gross to think about, but I think that's what I think like the reason a lot of the minorities, and maybe it's not even just in general, is because they're not going out and meeting 12-year-olds on Hinge or whatever. They're like, they're related to the victim. There's no evidence from this video that this is even a nice guy, right? Like, you can just say shit like that on Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised if this was like a video from like years ago that this guy just pulled out to say that. Anyway, so that's the shooting. Basically, that's George Floyd. We'll see if the left has any energy left to actually get mobilized over something like this. I'm going to predict not really. I don't think there's going to be like I don't think you're going to see even like 10% of George Floyd energy. That's going to be my prediction. But also my final thoughts on it is like, it's fucking retarded. Get a life, okay? Get a life and think about what you're doing, which ties into, I wanted to circle back to this comment.
$20 speaking of tattoos. This was 2 weeks ago at Christmas.
A father has been arrested after allegedly flaunting Nazi tattoos at a busy Newcastle beach on Christmas Eve. If found guilty, the 36-year-old could face up to a year behind bars.
A towel in hand with kids in tow, a family trip to Bar Beach in Newcastle on Christmas Eve has landed 36-year-old Andrew Laurent in hot water. Behind this blur, alleged Nazi hate symbols, SS bolts and the words white power tattooed on his calf.
Self-evidently ridiculous that it would be illegal to put a Nazi symbol on a bed sheet, but you can put it on your body.
Ben Parsons spotted the tattoos, allegedly linked to white supremacist ideology.
I thought it was shocking, pretty offensive, especially 9 days after we've just had the largest terrorist attack on Australian soil.
Ben reported the alleged racist body ink to police. 3 days later, Mr Laurent was arrested at a home in Urunga, south of Coffs Harbour. He's now charged with 2 offences related to display.
Yeah, you can't even go to the beach. That's crazy. But the blur like reminded me of something. And then this was underneath that Max Blumenthal tweet. This guy says, always look for the SS/ZZ, the double lightning bolt, the iron cross. It's a cross with flared tips and squared shape. Also a few that are dates or numbers, 88 for instance, or 1492. I've seen a few Prussian eagles too, all Nazi dog whistles. Reminds me, there's like a screenshot of like a Discord where the guy's name is like Hitler Rapist 1488 or something. Or it's like Hitler Lover 1488, and the guy's like, some guy's like, hey man, are you a Nazi? And he's like, no, I just love Hitler or something like that. And then the guy goes like, oh, well, be careful with your name because 1488 is a dog whistle. Okay, circling back to this ragamuffin comment here. This was on the clavicular thing that I talked about. Ragamuffin says, why are you dating the white dude is wrong at all, LP? Again, mad sus. I don't know, man. You're changing, bro. Now, what he meant to say is, why are you saying that the white dude is wrong at all, LP? And this is in regards to Clav dumping his like can of whatever on the guy's face. The guy who he, this part right here, right?
The biggest clip. Clav, you don't want to do this. Do it.
Right, he walks up to the guy and pours his drink on him, which even that technically is assault. So this kind of all ties into what I'm getting at, which is use some wisdom, okay? Is it worth it? Is it worth, yeah, the guy deserves a lot more than a bottle of water dumped on his head just for being that annoying. But people in the chat now are saying he threw his drink at it. Well, I didn't know that, but it's also like, it's not, if you're not immediately reacting, like if it wasn't immediately a reaction, then it's not self-defense. It's just like a new assault. You know what I mean? Legally speaking. So you're probably not going to have your life ruined, even if you do catch a charge for something like that. But why like risk, you know, you want to go do 80 hours of community service and anger management and have something on your record? So that's what I was saying. Ragamuffin, this is the same person who got all mad at me for like being like, well, New York City is fucked now because they elected Mamdani. And then somebody said it was a woman, and then I felt kind of bad. But I don't think it is a woman. I think it's like a histrionic, low IQ guy. You know, when I was, before I met Allison, before I met her and got married, and I was living in Nanaimo, I had a female roommate, and she had a boyfriend who was like a young kind of hothead dude, he said he acted like he was like in the mafia or something. I don't like, he was like a big talker. I don't know how much of that was whatever, but he had like a sports car, and he's like, hey man, he wanted to take me for a ride. He's like, do you want to go for a ride in my car? And I absolutely did not want to go for a ride on his sports car. I couldn't have been less interested in going for a ride, but I didn't want to be rude. He obviously wanted to take me for a ride, so I was like, okay, sure. So we're driving in his car, and there's this one street that's like really curvy, like lots and lots of curves, very residential, like 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. And he's going like 85 miles, ripping around these curves, right? Trying to like impress me or whatever. And I remember being so angry and thinking like, good, like I wasn't even like Christian at the time or religious, but I was like praying, like, please God, don't let me die like a fucking retard in this idiot's fucking car. And I'm never getting in a car with this guy ever again. Because I had a daughter. I'm like, I cannot die doing some retard fucking thrill-seeking shit. I have somebody who like counts on me to eat, you know? Counts on me to like guide them into this world. I have duties. This is the same reason like I would not go skydiving or bungee jumping now. Do that shit before you have kids. But so that's what I was getting at, is just like, think about what you're doing. And it ties into this ice woman as well. What are you fucking doing, lady? What are you doing? Think about what you're doing, guys. The people don't think, and they don't realize that the repercussions of the actions could be beyond what they've would imagine, because they didn't bother to think at all. Again, that woman never thought she was going to get shot in the face. Never occurred to her. But you can. So think. And also one last thing before I move on to the Jake Lang stuff. Because we were also talking about woman propaganda getting, and I said the same thing. I said I think it was probably the right call for woman propaganda when he got slapped in the face to just walk away.
Just supporting the show. God bless LP and chat.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, I want to make a point here, which I don't always take like the cuck route of retreat and de-escalate and whatever. And I'll give you an example of where I wouldn't, right? Which is, there's this guy in New Jersey who is getting sent to jail 4 years because he shot a black mugger, which is insane. Obviously, legally, you should shoot somebody who's trying to mug you. But they charged him, and they're sending him to jail for. I think people are trying to like, I don't know, they're trying to like get that reversed or whatever. I don't know. I haven't looked too closely into the updates. Ooh,
just
the
supporting
old
the show.
double.
God bless LP and chat.
Thank you, General Grievance, and no refunds. Thank you for the old double dip. So that guy absolutely should have shot that guy 100%. And even if I knew I was going to go to jail for 4 years, even if that was like an understood part of the equation, I would still shoot him. Not because I desperately want to kill the black guy. That would just be the bonus part. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. But because giving the black guy your gun is almost a surefire way to die. Like it's less of a risk to go to jail for 4 years than it is to give the black mugger your gun, because he'll probably use the gun to kill